Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number.
Call 877-499-MY-TV.
The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So cancel the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money.
Call 877-499-MY-TV.
Right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $24.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $24.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card.
Call 877-499-MY-TV. That's 877-499-MY-TV.
Cancel the cable, cut costs, and get more.
Call now, 877-499-MY-TV.
I'm the sports professor, Rick Horrow, and this is Beyond the Scoreboard, the inside look at the trillion-dollar business of sports with the serious show that really doesn't take itself too seriously. We do get behind all the deal-making, legal, marketing, business issues that impact you as well as everybody all over the country. It's only getting bigger, more issues to cover, so let's get started. Here we go. The top issues this week: hockey, more hockey, little basketball, maybe even a little golf. As far as hockey is concerned, the big issue isn't on the ice, but it's actually in the boardroom. In an effort to restart negotiations over a labor dispute, putting their participation in the upcoming World Championship in jeopardy, USA Hockey expected to reach out to players, women's national team. I can tell you it's about payment. We've seen the press releases go back and forth, and it isn't pretty. USA Hockey currently provides only $1,000 per month during the 6-month Olympic residency period every 4 years, and the bottom line is they provide more, the women say, to the men than the women. USA Hockey players welcome reopening negotiations that could avert their boycott. Time is running out because the tournament begins March 31, and just like their soccer counterparts, the women of USA Hockey, well-organized, feisty, and determined. Their boycott showing the relevance of Title IX and vigilance in improving women's sports overall. Hockey equipment dominates the headlines as well. Adidas owns CCM Hockey, back up for sale the second time in the last year. One of the largest manufacturers of hockey equipment and hockey apparel in the world, and they also have deals in place with several superstars, Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, and others. The current president says that the new owner would be a great opportunity for the brand to increase hockey-related and hockey equipment market share. And beginning next season, Adidas has the exclusive license to manufacture NHL jerseys, which may be one of the biggest factors in why they decided once again to try to sell the brand. My take is this: as hockey's popularity continues to increase, any sale of any hockey-specific enterprise will be fruitful for the sport and assist in long-term stability. Especially relevant in the hockey-crazy Northeast, the brand, of course, very important. Let's go out west.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Hey there, did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you could make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? It's true. According to the 2012 U.S. Census Bureau, college grads with a bachelor's degree make almost twice as much as high school grads. Now, going back to school is easier than ever at Independence University. Log on and complete coursework from the park, or the beach, or even your couch watching the kids. And Independence University gives you the tools, a free tablet and laptop for undergrad students to use and keep when they graduate. That's right. Get a laptop so you can go to college from anywhere. Take the first step to a new career in business, information technology, healthcare, or graphic arts. Call to find the online degree program that's right for you, and you could be on your way to increasing your earning potential.
800-797-1256. 800-797-1256. That's 800-797-1256.
Imagine a store that lets you get anything you wanted. An HD flat-screen TV, a high-capacity, ultra-quiet washer and dryer, a complete living room set. And imagine if you didn't need a lick of credit to get it. That store simply believed in you. Imagine if they even delivered it, set it up, and serviced it at no additional cost. Well, that store exists. That's Rent-A-Center. Imagine that. No credit needed. Affordable payment plans. Delivery, setup, and service included. Imagine new possibilities at Rent-A-Center. Rental purchase transaction. See store for details.
The Home Depot is pouring more into paint. And during Pro Appreciation Week, all pros get gold status with 20% off pro-grade paint, stains, and primers. Plus 5-gallon buckets of Kills 2 latex primer start at just $69.94. Nobody beats our prices, guaranteed. And during Pro Appreciation Week, pros that paint save even more with gold status. Now through March 26th. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Available in-store while supplies last. Must enter Pro Extra phone number at checkout for discount.
Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with Rick Horrow. We return to Rick's weekly take on the hottest items in the sports industry. Everything you need to know, sports law, sports marketing, sports economics, and everything in between. Here's Rick.
Toyota's become the official NHL Las Vegas Golden Knight first sponsor. 3-year deal with the Japanese auto manufacturer. The T-Mobile Arena has branding elements with Toyota, the Zamboni wrap, an in-ice logo, and they're currently a sponsor of 13 other NHL teams, and the deal with the Golden Knights reported to be very competitive as compared to equivalent deals of similar size. The Golden Knights off and running in the boardroom as well as on the ice. And my take is this. It's hard to believe that only a few months ago, Vegas was a small gambling and entertainment town with no hope for Major League Sports. Now, a hockey franchise, 2 NASCAR races, and the reasonable likelihood of the NFL. Bruins benefit too. Every valuable increase in any franchise all over the league helps everybody. Finally, as far as hockey, the NHL continues to celebrate its centennial on the ice. The league last week confirmed the plans for the Senators and Canadiens to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the first league game in Ottawa with an outdoor game at TD Place. The game, Sunday, December 17, 3 weeks after the CFL's Grey Cup is played in TD Place, expanded to 34,000 seats. And the NHL, by the way, treats its 100th anniversary celebration with great respect. LA led off the new year with the All-Star game and its 100th greatest NHL athletes. Now look for the NHL to continue to increase its franchise values, television ratings, corporate partnerships, and ultimate revenues. My take, the NHL strong, and it's even getting stronger. Now, hey, how about bringing an All-Star game back to Boston? How about that one? Let's talk basketball. March Madness, Sweet 16. That's hardly the annual tourney's most significant number, though. All the networks, CBS, TNT, TBS, True TV, 8.2 million viewers for the first Thursday, up 4% from last year. Remember those productivity studies, $4 billion in lost wages Thursday and Friday? I say a happy worker is a productive worker. And boy, if you were a top seed fan, you were basically happy. March Madness bracket participants, 71% say they watch games at home, 12% at the bar, 24% use a computer to check scores. Nearly 100 million viewers across 73 telecasts last year, and this year, the 8-year, $9 billion extension for March Madness. The television value at over $1 billion. But the point is this. There is less distinction today about who watches versus where they watch. The where they watch is less important. Digital, iPad, bar, anywhere. The advertisers are now understanding the real important thing is capturing the revenue and activate. That's why the big sponsors are spending the big bucks. And like the diehard college hoops fans who flock to the NCAA tournament sites, advertisers and sponsors equally drawn to the sweet spot, age 25 to 54. Plenty of brain power, half holding a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate degree. These are people who graduated the schools they follow and clearly are avid fans. And Wendy's this year joins the drive for the Final Four, including advertising, merchandising, PR. And here's my take. The ultimate collegiate sports experience is a no-brainer for brands, giving the tournament an A year after academic year. Certainly New England fans participating in this as well, even though not really local teams to follow, all national teams, very important to New England sports. And finally, let's do a shout-out to the women and the LPGA. The signature golf event tees off in Carlsbad, California. Kia Motors inked a multi-year renewal of the brand's LPGA relationship as its official automotive partner. The exclusive Women's Leadership Day presented by the LPGA and Servant Leadership Institute. The exclusive forum for a professional woman features a keynote by Sempra Energy EVP Martha Wersch and a panel discussion spotlighting women executives from the LPGA, LA Clippers, LA 2024, and others. I'm moderating the event, proud to do it, and it also joins the Indie Women in Tech Championship presented by Guggenheim as LPGA events, a strong focus on success in the workplace by women, plans for kids and others to emulate as well. Finally, let's talk football for a minute. President Donald Trump, not the only boss to yell, "You're fired" in D.C. Thursday, the first day of the new league year last week, and most teams looked at free agency to fill their glaring holes in their rosters. The Washington Redskins created a much larger void in their front office. They fired Scott McClellan on Thursday, 2 years into his 4-year contract. He was fired due to his ongoing problems with alcohol, according to the Washington Post. During one of the busiest times of the year, NFL front offices with the draft a month away, the Redskins find themselves scrambling to find a new leader in their organization. One name has been mentioned, NFL Network draft analyst Mike Mayock, but don't expect the Redskins to rush into making a decision. Insiders say they expect the Redskins to wait until after the draft to find the replacement. And my take is this. The Trump-esque office shakeups don't always lead to increased victory. They certainly demonstrate a renewed commitment to improving the on-field product in D.C. Everybody firing everybody and moving people around, it is good to know that the leaders stay put.
And now, for our interview segment. Rick Horrow live with Steve Birdwell of the Indian Wells Tennis Tournament.
This isn't about tennis, although you watch some really good tennis here. It's about business, it's about global reach, it's about marketing. Steve Birdwell, COO, Indian Wells Tennis Garden, BNP Paribas Open. Did I get that all right?
You got it right.
Awesome. A lot of titles. Complicated title. Complicated event. Larry Ellison put this facility together, took it to the next level. So thank you for having me in your home.
Thanks for coming.
It's an incredible event, an incredible business of tennis. Tell us about this huge renovation. Kind of walk us through what you've done to make this kind of the definitive tennis center of the free world, maybe even more.
Absolutely. What we've done here this last year, and it's really been about a 9 or 10 month project, has transformed our center court stadium from a 15 or 16-year-old stadium, second largest in tennis, to a world-class stadium with, we went from 3 concessions to 20 concessions and a Wolfgang Puck Spago restaurant on the 3rd floor there.
Larry Ellison basically says, I want to make this the best facility in the world, and I want to put fans first, anywhere from amazing Wi-Fi to the Spago you talked about, to the seats, to the suites. How do you take that vision and implement it to what we're seeing today?
You know, it takes many, many, many hours of very talented people to make it happen. We've got an amazing group of architects, designers, and people that really know professional sports. And just look at all your options and consider the fans and the players and the sports and try to build something that is world-class that's going to last for another decade or two.
And not just another decade or two for this event, but it has to make a lot of sense year-round from a balance sheet economic perspective. So what's this place look like calendar-wise?
It gives us the opportunity to expand where we haven't had it before. And from a community standpoint, we have arts festivals here, car shows, that type of stuff on the grounds. But now we have the ability with the restaurant. We've got a new banquet facility. We've got a new front box club and space that we can utilize year-round. And so it gives us a lot more opportunities to try to make an impact in the community here with this new facility.
Let's talk impact a little bit. The Coachella Valley always is the home to special events, not Major League franchises, but special events. Amazing music festivals, amazing golf tournaments as well. Give us a notion of what the economic impact looks like for the Valley.
Well, the economic impact was over $400 million last time we took it. We're right now going through for 2017 a new economic impact study, and I expect that to be significant.
The thing that economic impact studies, from my perspective in the business, don't do is measure awareness, measure the intangibles.
We're going to take a short break on Beyond the Scoreboard here, and when we return, Rick Horrow back with Steve Birdwell.
Hey there, travelers. You going somewhere? Need a hotel? Then call Hotel Whiz anytime, day or night, for rates too low to publish. You can save up to 75% on over 500,000 hotels across the globe and get our best price guarantee with no booking or cancellation fees ever. We've got some of the lowest hotel prices you'll find in New York, Chicago, Las Vegas, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., and a lot more. Don't waste your time surfing for deals. Make a free call right now and find deals too low to publish. Save up to 75% right now with no cancellation fees. And to make it even easier on you, we're here 24/7 to help. So call right now. Bookmark us in your cell phone. Whatever you need to do, just pick up the phone and call this number for hotel deals that'll knock your socks off.
800-507-3777. 800-507-3777. 800-507-3777. 800-507-3777.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for prescription drugs? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get prescription drugs at huge discounts from Canada Drug Center. That's right, the most popular drugs for cholesterol, high blood pressure, depression, diabetes, arthritis, and many more are now up to 75% off. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices when you can get brand name drugs at the lowest price? Call today and get up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs. Never pay high prices again. Get the most popular drugs at huge savings from our Canadian and international pharmacies and fulfillment centers. No insurance? No problem. Prices are so low you do not need benefits or insurance to get all your prescriptions fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting to take your call now. Order today and get free shipping. Just call 800-950-1180. Up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs and free shipping. Call 800-950-1180. That's 800-950-1180.
Do you have an old car sitting in your driveway? How would you like to learn a hassle-free way to get rid of it, help kids in need, and get a great tax donation in the process? It's real easy. One simple free call to our car donation hotline is all it takes. Call the Neshama Foundation at 800-760-4895, 800-760-4895. We'll come pick your car up for free and give you a tax donation for the full value of the car, running or not.
The value of your unwanted car will go to help kids in need. It's fast and easy. Just call us and your car will be gone and on its way to helping children in 48 hours. And you get a nice tax deduction. Call the Nishama Foundation now to get rid of your car, help kids, and get a tax write-off.
Call 800-760-4895, 800-760-4895, 800-760-4895. That's 800-760-4895.
Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with Rick Horrow. We return to part 2 with Rick's interview with Steve Birdwell of the Indian Wells Tennis Tournament. Here's Rick.
If you were to have an ad agency by media time of the number of times Indian Wells, Palm Springs area, the Valley is mentioned, you couldn't put a price tag on that, could you?
No, absolutely not. No, you can't quantify that type of exposure, but clearly you can see what this event and others here in the Valley have done for the Valley and made it more and more a year-round destination, not just a seasonal destination.
What's the public-private partnership look like here? Clearly, the county, city, state doesn't capitalize the construction of the facility, but they provide a lot of support, don't they?
Absolutely. They've been amazing for us. Clearly, they are invested in working with us, undoubtedly, and it's been a great partnership to work with them. They work with us to build that vision. Of course, they have their vision of what needs to be here, and we're part of that, so very, very pleased with working with them.
And this area understands what it means for mega events, the hotels, the restaurants, and the like. This is the height of the season. Is there a feeling that this event could happen any other time? You got weather issues, obviously. You got the window here.
Absolutely.
But the hotels and the infrastructure embrace this, notwithstanding the fact that they have a pretty good season anyway.
Right. No, this is a perfect time for us, both from a tournament and tour calendar.
Yeah.
It fits very well. It fits very well within that, and partnering with the Miami event that's coming up. So it's a great time to have it. We can always look to have other events here, perhaps in the fall when the weather is also nice.
Let's talk about the Miami event as well. Renovations for facilities and keeping them up, critical. Flushing Meadow, $500 million or so, new roof. All facilities all over the world, especially keeping majors, big dollars. How important is it to make sure that facilities continue to improve while an event happens?
I think it's very, very important. We all have now access to large, high-def televisions in our living room. Makes it very convenient with replays to be able to go and make it our own experience. But for us, the stadium is one component of it. The grounds that we have and the gardens and such as that make it a different event than what you can get in your living room. So it's very important for us to continue to develop.
Let's talk television, because that's a good segue, because the term that owners of Major League franchises worry about the most, they've invented a term, decouching. And yeah, how do you keep people enjoying the television piece so you get the rights fees, yet come out to a unique experience on the grounds?
Right. It's a lot of creative people. It's a combination of talented people behind those cameras that you want to have a great show, while at the same time we have a great crew here that does all of our activities for the fans, for the players, as well as production here on the large video walls, as well as the different facilities that we have, so that people have something to do before, during, and after the matches.
By the way, kudos, shout out to Matt Van Tynen. He is our de facto executive producer. He's also our camera guy. And it's interesting because he's swatting flies and he's giving signals, and I thought it was like 4 minutes left. It's just that you're swatting flies, right? Is that all that is? All right. Great.
Multi-talented.
Yeah, multitasking. You can decide how talented the guy really is.
He is.
I'm sure he is. So as far as the kind of long-term commitment of tennis generally, beIN Sports, a big deal with the men's side, ESPN, big deal with the women's side. Are we comfortable of the growth of tennis generally worldwide?
Absolutely. I think it's continuing to grow. We have got some amazing players now, and the field that's coming up, the next gen for the ATP as well as WTA. It's amazing players that are out there. You've seen some of the next gen players coming up just through this tournament, and it's great to watch them. And I love the convergence of perhaps the people that we have, the Roger, Rafa, Serena, Venus, that whole crew, as well as all the next gen, and they're playing each other. It's great for the fans.
Does the convergence, as you call it, we would also say the resurgence, Williams, Federer, Nadal, the first major, does that put less pressure on the kids to have to perform quickly? Do we feel like the superstar continues to dominate? And let's talk about American kids primarily.
Right. No, I think they're all competitive, and they all want to win. And so I don't see it as a problem at all. It's exciting for the fans. I don't think that they're feeling the pressure that they have to win. I think they want to win.
This tournament is really, really unique in the sense that I'm excited about a men's and women's final the same day, which is huge. Given that context, this is a perfect tournament for a Larry Ellison of the world to help solve any issues relative to governance, men's and women's. Do we feel like it's getting more harmonious? If you want to wave a magic wand on the spot, what's the one thing you would change as far as the harmony between the men's and women's game?
Well, I think that I've seen it in meetings already, which is great. I've been in meetings now where the WTA and the ATP are coming together. So it's not something that I need to wave a magic wand or anything like that. I think they're starting to come together already naturally to make it a great sport and for the players and the fans. So I don't see that as something I necessarily need to wish for. I think they're already making it happen.
Where is tennis broadly defined, professional tennis, let's say 5 years from now?
5 years from now, bigger and better. You see the investment that we're making here. You see what the U.S. Open is doing. Very polished, I think, and I think it's going to new heights here. Excellence.
Your home is fantastic. You guys are great. Executive producer, not so much, but everything else is wonderful. Thank you, my friend.
Hey, thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
Next up, we have our second interview of the week, Rick Horrow with Ken Solomon. They sit down for a discussion on tennis, media, and everything in between.
Rick Horrow with Ken Solomon, CEOCOO, Grand Poobah, whatever you want to call it, tennis channel. What is your title changes every day, but it's always bigger than the week before. What are you now?
Well, actually a president now. As part of a larger company, we went for president since you can only have one CEO of a publicly traded company.
That's fair, and I think president befits, but it's also entrepreneur, father of tennis on television. I'm not sure about father of tennis, but if it was possible, you'd be there. We've had these conversations a long time. Congratulations, by the way, on where you've been with Tennis Channel and where it is today. Why don't you give us a snapshot of the growth in the last year, let's say?
Well, the last year's been pretty incredible. Yeah. We sat here in a very different studio last year, and we were in 30 million homes. We were really beginning to come forward with our over-the-top product, which is complementary to the air. And today, and our web was very serviceable, but I wouldn't say that it was competitive from a traffic standpoint. By design, you can't do everything. And today, we've consolidated many of our rights. Most importantly, we've doubled our distribution to deals for representing 60 million homes, which means that we've gone from a sports tier to basic, and people don't have to pay extra. We're at about 75, 80 to 90% penetration, depending on the distributor. Our over-the-top product is generally in the top 5 grossing of all sports apps. It's been pretty exciting, and obviously we've had a little bit of news in the last couple of weeks with the purchase of TMC, which is the Tennis Media Corporation, which includes both Tennis Magazine and Tennis.com.
We'll talk about that in a second, but from a general business perspective for an international audience, why has your trend been so up where some of the niche networks, and I don't demean them by NFL Network and Golf Channel and others, why are you increasing your distribution and your reach more prolifically than others?
Well, it's interesting. I think it's because for 10 years we believed that we had a product that would be transformative as we saw the business transforming. I mean, I don't think you can find anybody who prognosticates about the future who doesn't say that the next 5 years are going to have the most change in the history of mankind. Yeah. And that certainly goes for the media business. We see it happening right now. We were preparing for that, in a sense. We wouldn't have done this if we didn't think that it was something that would serve the future better. So this is our time. And frankly, Rick, it's not just the niche networks that are going down. It's every network. Yeah. It's general entertainment networks. It's big multi-sports networks, not necessarily because of anything they've done right or wrong, but because people are consuming media differently. Obviously, you've got cord cutting and cord shaving. But if you have a core product that is a destination that people know to go to and you do it properly, particularly sports, which still has the value of live, and consolidate that in one place, we felt that was a better model. Whereas every other sports model is sort of let's chop it up and spread it around.
Now let's. How do you? Are you frustrated by the rest of the industry not understanding or catching up to your vision? How long will it take before the commercial advertising, Madison Avenue agency side catch up with the Ken Solomon vision of complete immersion, vertical integration?
That's a very astute question. First of all, I like to think of it as the Tennis Channel vision, and we have an amazing team and have really crafted this together with substantively the same senior management team for some time. And now to be able to do that with the Sinclair senior team, many of whom I've known my whole career, is really wonderful, and it's been a great marriage, and we can talk about that later if you like. But yes, it is frustrating, yet frankly, we're used to it. We signed up for this. We knew it wouldn't be easy. We've been patient. You know, if we didn't have that intestinal fortitude, we certainly wouldn't be here, because they weren't only not paying attention to us, many of them were trying to kill us, quite frankly. And we not only survived, we're now thriving. And so it's just a fun time. We would be sort of foolish to be complaining at this point, considering the level of success that we're enjoying right now.
But your content certainly is unique, has been, will be, always will be. But the idea of complete vertical integration.
We're going to take a short break here on Beyond the Scoreboard. Stick around when we come back. More Ken Solomon and Rick Horrow.
Imagine a store that lets you get anything you wanted. An HD flat screen TV, a high-capacity, ultra-quiet washer and dryer, a complete living room set. And imagine if you didn't need a lick of credit to get it. That store simply believed in you. Imagine if they even delivered it, set it up, and serviced it at no additional cost. Well, that store exists. That's Rent-A-Center. Imagine that. No credit needed, affordable payment plans, delivery, setup, and service included. Imagine new possibilities at Rent-A-Center. Rental purchase transaction. See store for details.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
The Home Depot is pouring more into paint. And during Pro Appreciation Week, all pros get gold status with 20% off pro-grade paint, stains, and primers. Plus 5-gallon buckets of Kills 2 latex primer start at just $69.94. Nobody beats our prices, guaranteed. And during Pro Appreciation Week, pros that paint save even more with gold status. Now through March 26th. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Available in-store while supplies last. Must enter Pro Extra phone number at checkout for discount.
If you're 65 or older and suffering from knee pain, you may qualify for an advanced pain-relieving brace. Dr. Approved Medical will work with Medicare or insurance benefits to see if you qualify for these knee braces at little or no cost to you. The only way to see if you qualify is to call us, 800-816-0365. Don't let your knee pain get worse. Call now and get free shipping plus a free pedometer. 800-816-0365. 800-816-0365. Little to no cost with full insurance payment, copay, and deductible supply promo subject to qualification while supplies last.
iHeartRadio, an app so powerful, it holds 20 million songs from 450,000 artists. Thousands of the best live radio stations, custom stations, and stations created just for you. It's anywhere and it's everywhere. Millions of songs, thousands of stations, one free app. iHeartRadio is that easy. Download the app today or listen online at iHeartRadio.com.
Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with Rick Horrow. We return with part 2 of Rick's interview with Ken Solomon, talking tennis, sports business overall, media, and much more.
So you have attractive, amazing athletes, men and women, who are often role models and who are attractive to kids. Our audience has always been broad, but the platform that we've been on, which has been, in a sense, television, has aged. And so as we push into social aggressively, and tennis.com is a big part of that, as we push into over-the-top, as we try to pioneer and be in front of every curve or look around every corner, we're seeing our audience starting to age down, and I think that will help the entire sport.
As you become more corporate, are you going to be less passionate? Because you're clearly as passionate as you were years ago.
Well, we wake up, we're jumping out of bed. The joke is we're sleeping less now, and it's not because anyone's cracking a whip. It's because we're so excited about realizing the opportunity. The light is there. There is no end to the tunnel. We don't know how big this thing's going to get. We always say we wouldn't want to be the other guys because it's tough right now. I don't know what you'd do if you had already maxed out your model. Instead, we certainly had not. But the beauty is that our parent corporation, Sinclair, is very dynamic. It's the largest, among the largest broadcast television station groups in the world. But they're also an engineering company and a technology company. They have hundreds and hundreds of websites that go with all of the television stations. They have technologists. They have engineers that have been, and we own companies that think about geo-targeting because they've become the experts in the world in local. And so tennis is very national and international on the tennis channel side, but it's also very local. So corporate is very entrepreneurial at Sinclair, and that's why it's been one of the reasons it's been such a great fit.
I normally end an interview with you by asking, what does Tennis Channel look like 5 years from now? Let's be a little broader. What does your new world-class vertically integrated entity look like 5 years from now?
I don't know where we fit in terms of the ecosystem, but we are just absolutely dying to find out where the ceiling is, and we don't see anything close to it right now. And we've never known the answer to that question. That is a genuine approach. We believed it when we had no right to, but it was there. And everything that's happening now with the acceleration and the personalization and customization of delivery, platforms, and content says that we feel like we're going to win bigger. I don't know what that means in terms of the rest of the world, but I like metaphorically, our stock a lot, and I think it's going to be significant. And I do think we will take a leadership position, not because we're trying to, but because, in a sense, we've been preparing for this moment for over a decade.
And post Sinclair, you've grown an inch. Your clothes look better. You look happier. Look at you. I mean,
it's nice when you're not dodging bullets when the big guys aren't trying to squash you, and that's the game. And I was one of those big guys once. We decided to do this, and it's really been fun. And
I good hands, pal. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Rick. Appreciate it.
And that's not it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. We bring you our third interview this week. Rick Horrow sitting down with the media legend Chris Collinsworth, talking about data analytics, media, and more.
We all know Chris is a sportscaster on NBC. We also know that he played wide receiver for the Bengals for 8 seasons during the 80s after an All-American college career at the University of Florida. But he also led the acquisition of Pro Football Focus, a football performance data and technology company, 2 years ago and serves as the majority owner and CEO. television sportscaster, obviously, Showtime, NFL Network, and winner of 15 sports Emmys. But the most important issue for him at the Sloan Analytics Conference was to gather as much data as he could right before the draft, not only for his company, but also knowledge of football. He talks Patriots, stability, analytics, draft, and the business of sports. Chris Collinsworth. Sports professor Rick Horrow, we're here at the Sloan MIT Analytics. It is winding down. The interesting thing about our next guest is that he has a business of his own, but a lot of people may not know it. So I bet you he's not deluged with the ongoing stream of resumes that everybody comes out of the woodwork to do. I suspect it's just autographs, Chris Collinsworth. Is it autographs and resumes or what?
I can't wait to get resumes from this crowd.
Yeah.
Believe me, a big part of the reason that I came, we have a 5-person full IT team. We're trying to get to 10. So where else would you rather be? Come here and try and recruit.
So let's talk about the we very quickly, because we could always talk about Bengals in the NFL and University of Florida. It's Pro Football Focus. You bought the company a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Talk about where the company's been and where it's going.
Well, at one time when I bought it, I think we had affiliations with 13 of the National Football League teams. We just came back from the Combine, and we have 25 currently. I think there's a very good chance that we land this year somewhere between 28 and 30 teams. I was completely blown away by the fact that now at the Combine, there are all these 25 to 35-year-old young people that have never played football, that have never worn a helmet, many of whom are women, that are now having real decision-making influence over game plans, over rosters, over salary cap, and it's all about data, it's all about analytics, it's all about these young kids that are coming out of places like MIT and Harvard and Princeton that are not afraid of the numbers.
Good thing, bad thing, by the way?
I think it's a great thing. I now go into the week, and Pro Football Focus gives me a bunch of data on the two teams that we're going to do. And about 80% of it, I go, yeah, I knew. Right. About 20% of it, I love being wrong on Monday and Tuesday. Yeah. I don't like being wrong on Sunday night. Right. And so when these young people that have broken down every single play of every single game, it has been overseen by a coach, it has been presented in such a manner that it's easily digestible, and that 20% is where I end up spending my time during the week, because I didn't know that. Yeah. And somebody who has never played the game of football was able to teach me that through analytics.
Is there, and I'll say it in a complimentary way, is there an appropriate balance in football decision-making today between the geeks and the old-line guys?
Yes. Okay. But I think that there's movement. It used to be everybody was like, if you didn't play the game, you don't know what you're talking about, right? And a lot of those coaches are no longer around. Right. And we're seeing the 31-year-old head coaches now that are, I mean, they were born with technology in their hand. They know how to manipulate numbers. They're not afraid of what analytics will tell them. And they want it. They expect it. They're getting it in college. We have 15 major college teams that get our service. So they've been brought up in a way that the players of my generation weren't. And I'm of the opinion, either adapt or die, so I'm adapting. I'm all in.
But probably wrong guy to ask since he owns an analytic company, but can you go too far with that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, especially because it's still football. It's still a fist fight out there, right? Yeah. And there are some people that have these big hearts that when it's the most desperate of times, the Tom Brady's of the world, the Michael Jordans of the world, you can't put analytics around that. It is still a game played by human beings that in the toughest of situations have to deliver, have to overcome their own nerves, and there's no analytics to build around that.
How do you determine that? How do you assess the size of a guy's heart?
I wish I knew. I would be the greatest draft guru in all the world.
And a coach, by the way.
And a coach.
Great GM.
And a coach. I know it when I see it.
Right.
But unfortunately, I'm not there on draft day. But it is, there's a great, wonderful balance that is opening up the world of football to people now that are at this conference, that are wide-eyed, that are always, baseball was the first one to get there, and now all the other sports are following suit.
We're not going to do the who's going to win the Super Bowl and what a game last year. That's for 98% of the other people. Let's talk about Chris Collinsworth, the businessman. So your University of Florida education, you've always been a business guy. You feel like the purchase of the company gives you business satisfaction. What's next? Growing the company, scaling it? What's next with the company?
Well, we had 80 employees when I bought it. We have over 300 now, I think 350 now at this point. We're probably going much higher than that. I have some incredible partners that know a lot more about business than I do. I do have an accounting degree. I have a law degree. Yeah. So I have a little bit of background. I can speak a little bit of the language. But just like in football, I think you're always looking for expertise. Yeah. Dave Calhoun at Blackstone is one of our investors. Jack Cassidy, who ran Cincinnati Bell, is one of our investors. I have some people that I have the utmost respect for. And if you're smart, you're always looking for somebody who's smarter than you are to help you with some of those big decisions. And I think I'm at least smart enough to do that.
Well, you know, as someone else who has a law degree and realizes that a law degree only opens the door, doesn't kick it in, and it certainly doesn't guarantee success, which is another bit of advice, how do you deal with the entrepreneurial opportunities and yet make some decisions in your life where you know what you want to do and get there and not do too much and not make the wrong decisions business-wise?
Yeah, I always wanted to be involved in some business. But I didn't want to go open a McDonald's because I don't know anything about running a restaurant. I didn't want to go into some manufacturing because I don't know anything about that. So when this opportunity came along and it was a chance to enhance what I was already doing and do what I was doing better and have a chance to dream of, if I had a chance to run NFL Network, what would I do? How would I do it? If I had a fantasy product, how would I sell it? And that to me is, I don't work. I don't work. Yeah. I get out of bed every day, and I can't wait to get started on whatever the project of the day may be. And when your vocation and avocation are the same thing, right? Life is pretty fun.
Yeah, and there's a very interesting piece of that too. And how do you consciously every day kind of juggle the media exposure, the media opportunities that you've been blessed with and do, and obviously help promote your business? Subtle, it's appropriate, and it's seamless, and it evolves. It comes from.
Well, I think data analytics is in the news right now, clearly. Whether it's political coverage, whether it's finance, whether it's are we going to raise the interest rates, you know, it's all about crunching numbers. And, you know, I went through a lot of math classes to get through business school, but I am wowed by some of the young people that I'm around now. I am wowed by them. I look at what they're doing, at what they're creating. You know, the NGS is the next big thing, where they put these computer chips on the shoulder pads of the players, and all this data comes spitting out. But what are you going to do with it? How is it relevant? How are you going to make money off of it? How are you going to make your team better? And in all of those ways, it is exciting. You know, every day is there's something new and creative going on in the world of football. And I think there's been as much change in the last 4 or 5 years as there has been maybe in the last 25 before that, because this old era of trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. You know, certainly the Bill Belichick's of the world, when they're out there, you're going to go, okay, Bill, you know, if a numbers are going opposite of Bill Belichick, I'm still going for Bill Belichick. But what is that 20% that even Bill Belichick's going to go, let me think about that for a minute. I hadn't really thought about it in that way.
Well, that 20% for Bill Belichick is probably 60% for the rest of the human race.
I think that's about right. I think that's about right.
So for the Boston fans who are involved in this as well, you're an analytics guy, you're a management guy, you're a student of success as well. What off the field makes the Patriots so great, and how do they sustain their excellence?
I think they do the same thing year after year with the same coaches. The fact that they're able to hold on to their two coordinators blows me away. Yeah. You know, but you go down to the level of detail. I mean, the fact that Dante Scarnecchia sat out a year, comes back as the offensive line coach, and you see the difference. Yeah. You know, there's a human element to all this as well. But the fact that Bill Belichick is able to put a system in place and they draft to that system year after year. They coach to that system year after year.
When we come back after this short break, more Rick Horrow and Chris Collinsworth. Stick around on Beyond the Scoreboard.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply, subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
When you struggle with credit card bills every month, you're not just in debt. Debt is all around you.
I see people every day that are on the brink. They're going to go over the edge, and at the bottom is bankruptcy, and we pull them back.
At the Debt Helpline, we're experts at helping you resolve your debt problems and become free of debt. We can help you pay off your debt and give you one lower monthly payment that you can afford.
You do get to consolidate your payments. You only have to worry about making one payment a month instead of making 3 or 4 or 5.
If you have $5,000, $10,000 or more in credit card bills, call the Debt Helpline now for a free confidential debt analysis.
800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. Call the CESI Debt Helpline right now for a free confidential debt review. 800-957-6063. 800-957-6063.
Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with Rick Horrow. We return to Rick's interview with Chris Collinsworth.
And you look around the league at all the teams that every third year are switching from a 3-4 to a 4-3, that are going from a passing offense to a mobile quarterback. How are they ever going to compete with the guy that's doing the same thing day after day, grinding through, has never lost his work ethic? That's a tough thing to overcome. Some people have come really close. I don't think you look at the New England Patriots and say, that is the most talented football team I've ever seen in my life, right? I just don't think you do that. I think you look at them and you go, those guys collectively are so much better than what they are individually. And to me, that is really fun to watch.
Is it the system that's the solution? We talked about offensive and defensive coordinators, but the interchangeable players, is it a character issue? Is it a combination?
It's versatility and it's intelligence. Because no matter how smart Bill Belichick is, or Josh McDaniels, or Matt Patricia, no matter how smart they are, if the guys can't do it, I mean, every coach that goes against them says, we don't even worry about what was on film last week because we ain't going to see that. Yeah. You know, it's like a new game plan every week. Well, that's great as long as your guys can understand it and your guys can adapt and make those sort of changes. But think about going into a Super Bowl with a game plan that you haven't been doing. So that takes all those off-season days of work. It has to become second nature. And when Tom Brady can get in the huddle and go, oh, you guys remember back in 2012 when we played Buffalo in the second half when we made this. aren't many people can do that.
And everybody responds to that, too. So final issue, and we're going to put a shameless plug in for Craft Analytics. It also helps, Jessica Gelman, the guys that run this conference, are affiliated with a craft-related company. So now we know we take this dangerous, unbelievable organization and arm them with data that nobody else has. Should we even bother showing up for next season?
I think they're going to do okay. Somehow I have a feeling they're going to do okay without me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Great to see you.
Appreciate it. Well, that's our show for the day. We'd like to thank Chris Collinsworth for his analytical insight. We'd like to thank Tanner Simpkins for putting this show together. And as usual, we'd like to thank you guys for watching and listening in. Stitcher, Google Play, Audio Boom, and the iTunes feed if you want to get everything in our list of 15 topics every week on csnindy.com. And join us next week when we go Beyond the Scoreboard.